Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Restore. I'm
And
Jackie.
I'm Christina. Today we're wrapping up a week of looking at some challenging patterns, perhaps feeling broken, resistance to structure, inability to calm down, and communication struggles.
If you've been doing this work, you might be exhausted, triggered, or feeling like you're not making progress fast enough.
So today isn't about another belief to release. Today is about the restore piece of our framework, learning to hold yourself with compassion through the messy, non-linear process of healing and growth.
Christina, why is self compassion so important from a neuroscience perspective?
Well, self-compassion is not just a nice idea. It's neurologically essential for healing and change. Here's why. When you're harsh, critical, or judgmental towards yourself, you activate the exact same threat response in your brain as when someone else criticizes you. Your amygdala lights up, cortisol floods your system, and your prefrontal cortex, the part of you that you need for learning, growth, and change, it goes offline.
So, self criticism literally prevents growth?
It does. You can't learn and feel shame at the same time. So when you're in threat response from self-criticism, your brain is in protection mode, not growth mode. But when you practice self-compassion, when you speak to yourself with kindness, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. This releases different hormones like oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone, and it signals safety to your brain. Only in that safe state can real healing and change happen.
So, self compassion is strategic, not self indulgent?
Exactly. And there is neuroscience research that shows that people with self-compassion have lower cortisol levels. They have a better ability to handle change.
Right.
They have more resilience and emotional regulation, and they are actually more likely to take responsibility and make lasting change, not less. So the myth that self-criticism motivates you,
Yeah.
but that's a myth because
It is a myth.
research shows that it could paralyze you. Self-compassion is what creates the safety needed for growth.
Well, what about people who think self compassion is weak or self pity?
I think that's a misunderstanding of what self-compassion actually is. Remember, self-compassion isn't letting yourself off the hook. It's holding yourself accountable while also holding yourself with kindness. It's saying, I struggled with that conversation, and I'm still worthy of care.
Yeah.
It's rather than, I struggled with that conversation, therefore I'm a failure, I'm a mess.
Yeah.
Ugh. The first creates space for learning and change. The second can create shame, which keeps you stuck in the same patterns.
Well, from a naturopathic perspective, self compassion is actually a form of nervous system regulation. So when you practice self compassion, you're sending safety signals to your body. Your vagus nerve responds to kind self talk the same way it responds to being held by someone safe. It downregulates threat and upregulates connection and healing.
So you can co-regulate with yourself.
You can. This is especially important for people who didn't receive compassion early in life. Their nervous system may never have learned what safety in the midst of struggle feels like. They learn that mistakes equal punishment, vulnerability equals abandonment, and struggle equals isolation. Self compassion is literally teaching the nervous system a new pattern. In a way, yes, it's giving yourself the response you needed but didn't get. And here's what's beautiful: your nervous system doesn't know the difference between compassion from others and compassion from yourself. Either way, it receives the signal of safety, which allows healing to happen.
What about people who find self-compassion really hard or uncomfortable?
That's incredibly common, especially for people with trauma or chronic shame. Their inner critic is so loud and has been so active for so long that self compassion feels foreign, even dangerous. They might feel like they don't deserve it or that they're kind to themselves, that they might become lazy or complacent. But that's the old pattern talking, not the truth.
Well, how do you help such a person start?
Well, you start tiny, and I would suggest that they are in some sort of a therapeutic situation if they do have a trauma.
That's a good point.
But as support, you start tiny, and you don't have to love yourself immediately or feel warm, fuzzy feelings.
Honestly, that's why we start with I deeply and completely accept
That's
myself.
right.
It's not saying I love myself because
Yeah.
you know there are some things that you've done that may not be very lovable.
Yeah.
And you never want to lie to your body.
No.
But you can accept that it's, hey,
Mhm.
this thing happened and I had to do what I had to do.
But I can accept who I am now.
That's right. And again, have support. We're a tiny bit of support. Make sure that you're a doctor, a therapist,
Right.
with friends who understand you.
Right. And if you're resourced and you've been doing that deep work,
Yeah.
that this is just another way of bringing in that regulation.
Yeah.
So that nervous system and the body regulation that helps, restructure that, helps
That's right.
release, rewire, and restore.
That's right.
Mhm.
Honestly, there are some of our statements, some people do not like I deeply and completely accept myself.
Right.
And
They
have to
can't
start,
say it.
and it doesn't feel true. And so they'll start with, I honor and respect myself.
Right. I understand how I can feel that way.
Yeah. And it's just, if you are willing to start with 1% more gentleness today,
Right.
or 1%, you build the capacity slowly.
Right. You start tiny. You don't have to love yourself immediately or feel those warm, fuzzy feelings.
Give yourself a big hug and not feel. No.
Yeah, no, you can start with, I'm willing to consider that I deserve kindness.
That's right.
I'm willing to hold myself with 1% more gentleness.
Yes.
You build the capacity slowly, like strengthening a muscle.
That's right.
And you can borrow compassion from others that are safe until you can generate it yourself.
Well, let's do our daily release now.
Okay.
So there's a lot of self-criticism that happens when people are working on self-compassion.
Right.
And some, it's a safety thing. If I'm not hard on myself, nothing will happen.
Now, remember, we want 4 and below for
the
daily release. And
so if this is very intense, if this just takes you directly to a memory or an event,
then what we want you to do is just tap, and you might even say, even though there's work to do, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Yeah, or even though I'm open to holding myself up with kindness.
I love that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones.
So I like that. But if you have this, and as we do the discovery, it's 4 or below, you're good to go.
Right. And with like, I'm open to holding myself with more kindness is very general.
Yes.
So hopefully you're not over a 4 on that. In fact, why don't we run with that one?
I think that's the best one.
All right, it's your turn.
Even though I'm open to holding myself with more kindness.
I'm open to holding myself with more kindness.
I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though.
Hey, I'm going to stop it.
Okay.
What if this is brand new and they don't deeply and completely? Can we say right here, right now,
I think we could do that. So we'll do that. We'll start over. So even though I'm open to holding myself with more kindness.
I'm open to holding myself with more kindness.
Right here.
And
right now.
I'm okay.
Even though
I'm
open to holding myself with more kindness.
I'm open to holding myself with more kindness.
Right here.
And right now.
I'm okay. Even though I'm open to holding myself with more kindness. Right here. And right now. I'm okay. More kindness. I'm open to holding myself. With more kindness. More kindness. I'm open to holding myself with more kindness. More kindness. I'm open. More kindness. Under the arms. I'm open to holding myself with more kindness. Wow. We could really spend a long time talking about this topic.
Yeah, I think most of us could be open to holding ourselves with more kindness.
So I want you to gauge if anything shifted, if it's the same or better, because honestly, that might not even be a suds. So let's move to the action steps.
Let's do that.
So here's what I want to leave you with. You're doing the hard work. You're looking at painful beliefs. You're processing old patterns. You're rewiring your nervous system. That's not easy. And the way through it is not more criticism, more pushing, or you should be further along. One of the very important ways through is compassion.
Yes. And from a health coaching perspective, growth and healing requires safety. And you actually can create safety by how you speak to yourself, especially in moments of struggle. Your body is listening to your inner dialogue and responding accordingly. Harsh words create threat response and shut down healing. Kind words create safety and open the door for transformation.
So think about it this week. Maybe you tried to communicate something and it didn't come out right. Maybe you couldn't calm down when you wanted to. Maybe you resisted a plan you made for yourself. Your inner critic might be having a field day with all of this.
But here's the truth. Every time you showed up this week, every time you tried something new, every time you noticed a pattern, that was growth, even if it felt messy or incomplete.
So here's your self-compassion practice this week, the restore practice. When you notice yourself struggling, I want you to pause and ask, what do I need right now? Not what you should need, not what would make you more productive, but what you actually need. Maybe it's rest, maybe it's movement, maybe it's connection. Maybe it's permission to not be okay for a minute.
And then give yourself that thing along with the kind words. I mean, use your own name if it helps. Research shows that using your own name activates different neural pathways than saying I. So you can try, if it were me, Jackie, this is really hard right now. You're doing your best. I'm here with you. You're practicing being the compassionate presence needed, but maybe you didn't always have.
That's right. So I want you to notice what happens in your body when you speak with yourself to yourself with kindness. Does your breathing slow down? Do your shoulders drop? Does something soften in your chest? That's your nervous system receiving the safety signal.
Well, you don't have to do this perfectly. You don't have to feel warm and fuzzy about it yet. You just have to practice. Small moments of self-compassion compound over time into a fundamentally different relationship with yourself.
That's right. So you are worthy of your own kindness. You are worthy of gentleness. You are worthy of compassion, especially from yourself. That's not self-indulgence. That's how you create the safety needed for everything else to heal.
So have a gentle weekend, everyone. Take care of yourselves. You're doing better than you think.
Alrighty. Thanks for being here. We'll see you Monday.